Hello, how are you, Leo? I am a Leo myself, if you can't tell. The extraness. Um, I'm sorry I've been gone. I'm so sorry I've been gone. I've been transitioning and moving and I'm in France now and then COVID happened and I haven't really had like a good space to be able to do these readings. So now I have a good space to do the readings, so the readings will commence. Um, wow, we got a lot to talk about, huh? Got a lot to talk about, don't we? Don't we? A little bit. Just because we will the sun to shine does not mean the night does not come. Just because we see the vision of what the day is going to look like doesn't mean we don't have to go through the night. Doesn't mean that we don't have to walk through the darkness of the unconscious. Doesn't mean Scorpio season doesn't come. Um, we're walking through the night and the unknown, and it doesn't mean that it's not coming. It's coming. It's just not on our timing. I know. I know. We're fixed signs. We stick to the vision. But again, just because we know the sun is coming doesn't mean the night won't as well. So let's talk about it. I'm going to pull some cards and we're going to get into it. I apologize if you hear my roommate in the background. He is a little loud. Anyway, okay. So what does November bring us, right? Well, first we start off with the Fool card. So it brings us new opportunity. It brings us a sort of pep in our step to sort of move forward. If we felt super isolated and super stagnant in the last few months, it brings sort of an end to that. Things actually start moving again. I'm gonna try to move this light to where you can actually see my whole face. Things start moving in a direction where we're like, okay, we can see it, we can do it now. All right, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Now, typically, this would say, be careful what you leave behind. But in this particular case, I feel like with the new opportunities coming, they're coming. In fact, they're coming pretty quickly. Eight of Rods. But there's an element of still having patience with the things you're trying to manifest, not moving on too quickly, just because it's still nighttime and you're like, where's the day at, where is the day at? I know you're tired. um Freaking tired too. I'm so tired. I know you're tired, but there is this element of it's got to be a little bit more patient. It's coming. And in fact, it's kind of one of those things where even the little things that you see happening right now aren't breadcrumbs. These are massive changes that are happening very steadily, but not as quick as you'd like. It's that whole element of like, uh, I always talk about this when it comes to like magic. People start talking about like magic and like, oh, like what do I do? So you do this ritual. I do a lot of rituals. And sometimes when you're doing these rituals, it's an immediate change and it's like a lightning bolt just hit. Most of the time, however, it's just an internal shift. It's a change in your mind in regards to where you're going and what you've been seeing. There's no goat. I always called it the goat. And there's no thing that's gonna happen that's gonna be like the goat, some random goat. You're gonna wake up in the morning, there's a goat in your living room. It's not like that. There's subtle changes that happen. If it's different or better than it used to be, it's still a change. And to appreciate that, to live in the present moment, and to appreciate that happening right now is exactly what the lesson is. Because how are you going to see it when it comes if you can't see it when it's coming? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to trust it when it comes, if it comes too quickly, how are you going to trust it? You're going to be like, oh, okay. I don't know. That came too quick. That came too quick. So this is basically asking us to sort of be patient, be in the moment, realize that it's coming, and realize that even vestiges of it are starting to sort of show up. Your packages are starting to arrive. Okay. Maybe it's not the full kit yet. Maybe it's not the full kit yet, but it's something, you know. We have the four of, what is it? Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles here in reverse. And we also have the Star card. There's this one song called it's a weary heart. What's it? Weary Kind by Ryan Bingham, I want to believe. I don't listen to a lot of country music, but I like the song. It was from a movie I watched a few years ago, and called Crazy Heart, I think it is. No, something like that. Anyway, the idea of the song is, it says, "Pick up your crazy heart and give it one more try." And it's this whole idea of, this is not, oh, this ain't a place for the weary kind. This ain't no place to lose your mind. This ain't no place to fall behind. So pick up your crazy heart and give it one more try. And it's basically, the whole concept of, this is not the place. It's not, you're too close. You're too close. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to get so tired and so weary and so exhausted and jaded even, that you just, we're fire signs. So we just rather just burn it down. We're like, you know what? It can burn. It can, I'm cool. The fire, it's warm. It's warm. It's cold out here. The fire is warm. And this is just not the time. It's just not the time. Not yet. Not right now. Not right now. Things are moving. Things are moving. Compared to where they were, though, my goodness, they had gone from not moving at all to completely stagnant to seeing the packages come, seeing the gifts come, seeing the manifestations start to just to not start to rise up, even if it's happening even if it's just happening within you right now. That's better than we were. It's better than we were, you know, especially with all the, oh, sorry. Especially with all the Black Lives Matter stuff that happened. I remember having a conversation with somebody and I was so angry. I was really, really angry because I was like, I watched movies that were placed in like 1968 and it was the same stuff, or at least it felt like the same stuff. And I didn't think about it then. Because I remember just saying, I was like, we can't breadcrumb anymore. We can't breadcrumb anymore. We can't keep giving breadcrumbs and calling that change. We need change now. We need change now. It's not true. But there is this element of hope. There is this audacity of hope that is looking at what is actually happening and saying, okay, it's not the GOAT, but it's so much better than it was. And I'm not asking you to accept better and not the best, because we, of course, we want the best. The best is coming, however. The best is coming. And if we can keep fighting, and if we can keep moving forward, if we can keep hope, we can keep hope, what comes next? The victory card. This is just a test. This is just a test. It's just a test to see how you're going to receive it when it comes. This is about you now. This isn't about the things moving. The things are moving. This is about you now. So we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. What is it? Yeah, Three of Pentacles in reverse with the Ten of Cups. If you're manifesting, if you're doing your journaling, your scripting, if you're visualizing, if you're doing all this work, you're doing, and this is saying maybe it's time for gratitude now for the things that are showing up, and not just the things that are showing up, but the knowledge, the knowing that The path that you have chosen is the path you're on, and that path is going to open up for you. It's opening up for you currently, right now, in the present moment. In the present moment, it's happening. It's time for gratitude. It's time for gratitude. It's time for the areas of a lack of forgiveness that you might have had in the past to be reconciled, for you to start to forgive. It's time for you to get ready. It's time for you to get ready and to realize, in areas that you may not be ready. Again, if you don't see it now, you won't see it when it comes. I'm reading myself to filth too. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not in this. I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm in it. But it's here. It's here. Again, we have the Ten of Cups. Followed by the Ten of Cups, we actually have the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Rods. And that basically says, like, this is the work. The work is realizing this spiritual fulfillment is already here. You've done enough work. You've done enough work. Enough work has happened. The heavens are opening up and they're like, okay, so you stayed faithful to the path, man. You didn't just give it an effort, you gave it everything. You gave it everything. And the path is opening up in front of you. And this is the beginning of something stable. This is a beginning of a place where you can build. This is beginning of a place that you can build. This is a beginning of, what do you need to build a house? You need wood. What do you need to build a house? This is the planning. This is a moment where I would do gratitude and I would do planning. I wouldn't do any more manifestation. I wouldn't put up any more boards. I wouldn't do any more. I mean, not that you don't have to do affirmations. You can maybe keep your hopes up, to keep your faith. Do whatever you have to do to keep your hopes up. But as far as doing right now, I would be planning. I would be planning right now. And we have the Chariot in reverse card. Now, here's the thing. Vacations aren't going to happen right now. Vacations aren't going to happen right now. But the whole thing is this is the bloom where you're planted. This is like blooming where you're planted, especially with the Ace of Rods. Especially with the Ace of Rods, bloom where you're planted. Bloom where you're planted. It's not about running anywhere. Where's there run? Where are you going to run? Where are you going to run to? This isn't about running anywhere. This is about blooming where you're planted. Build here. Build here. Anyway, this video has gone on long enough. I know you're tired. I know you're tired, but this is not the time. This is not the time. You're so close. You're so close. Get yourself some water, have a spa day, and start planning. Maybe how are you going to look when you're, if this is a relationship, how are you going to look in your wedding dress? Maybe it's time to get yourself right for your wedding dress. How are you going to decorate your house? Maybe it's time to start looking at new furniture. How are you going to, what color do you want your car to be? What are you going to do and get on your job? What is your wardrobe going to look like? What are you going to represent when your dream job finally comes? How are you going to show off yourself? How are you going to show off when your dream job comes? Stuff like that. It's planning time. It's planning time. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is linked down below at instagram.com/i.am.a.witch, WXTCH. And if this reading resonated with you, feel free to donate. My PayPal is also linked down below. Thank you so much.